Hi friends. So in previous videos we have discussed certain fundamental aspects of our Indian polity. Okay. So the basic things what we have covered was what is government, means what does the government means. We have seen that it is divided into three parts. The basic parts of government we have seen in previous videos, that is your executives, working of executives, then your legislature and your independent judiciary. So if you want to look at means the fundamental aspects, you can refer to my previous videos. Okay. Also we have covered fundamental rights and DPSP's difference. Okay. Means you'll be most of you are aware of actually what is the fundamental right, but you don't know what are actually they meant for. Okay. If we ask you that what is fundamental rights, some people directly say that there are 6 types of fundamental rights, and these things are okay, but what we are concerned here, that what does they meant for. Okay. Similarly we have seen also DPSP, and also we have dichotomized, we have make a proper difference. How does this fundamental rights and directive principles are different from each other in their nature. So these all things we have already seen. So now in today's video, if we move further, there are certain aspects related to our Indian Parliament. Okay, the Parliament of India. Then how does this Parliament work and what does this mean for? So this we'll discuss in today's video. So before discussing this Parliament, we'll have a review. We'll have a review that in previous videos also have discussed. See, this Parliament means India is having a system of parliamentary form of government. What does it mean? What is this parliamentary form of government mean? See, parliamentary form of government is simply we have taken this format of parliamentary form of government from Britain, Constitution of Britain. Okay, so we need to look after it, what is the parliamentary form of government and how it works. Okay, so see this, if we talk particularly about Government of India, how Government of India plays role in parliamentary form of government. So this parliament is basically divided in your 3 parts. One is your Lok Sabha, second is your Rajya Sabha, and third is your President. So these are the 3 things what are there in our Indian Parliament. So Indian Parliament comprises of these 3 parts. Now look at it, ki what are the things, what are the basic aspects behind this. So see, I'll give you a generalist idea. What is a behavior of a study when you make preparation for your civil services exams? N number of civil services are there for your states, either it is MPSC or your Maharashtra PSC or your Uttar Pradesh PSC, Rajasthan, any N number of PSCs are there. See, in any of the competitive exam, I must say, you need to have a approach of what and how. What is it? What does this parliament means and how it formulated? These are the similar aspects you need to focus in all of the subjects, not only Indian polity, not only in Indian geography, your history. If you are even a technical guy, if you are if you belongs to a technical field, you belong to engineer, you belong to a doctor, or any of the MBAs and all of the fields are there. But if study approach is this, what and how, you'll be having a great success in your particular tasks that you are discussing about a particular thing. Okay, so now we'll come on our point. See, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and President are there. So actually what is this Lok Sabha, what is this Rajya Sabha, and what is this Parliament? Okay, so before discussing this scenario, I'll want to have a review that why in India we have a parliamentary form of government. Okay, why it's not presidential form of government. See, I'll let you before discussing this point, I'll take you to some important aspects. See, there are two types of government. One is your presidential and another is your parliamentary. Now, what is the difference between this presidential and what is this difference between parliamentary? See, all of us knows, okay, India, example of this parliamentary is India, and this presidential is your USA. Very common president of USA, Barack Obama and George W. Bush. There are numerous different presidents we have seen in USA. So USA you all must be knowing, okay. So they are having this presidential form of government. Now what is this? India, this is parliamentary form of government. See, what is the difference between these two types of government? You should first, before starting your parliament, you should have a clear idea that why these both things, this president and your parliament, what does they mean and why we have obtained this structure of parliamentary form. See, now this concept, there is one important thing also I'll discuss here shortly, okay. You see this, see, there is one concept called as nominal head and another is your real head, okay. One is your nominal head and another is your real head. Now what is the difference between two? See, real head is having actual power. A person is real head if he is having actual power, okay. And nominal head is head who is having only your rubber stamp. What does this mean, rubber stamp? Rubber stamp means, now on the basis of these two things I am taking a short discussion. So the students who are watching this video, you just write down this concept in your copies and something like that. So what is this actual power and what is this rubber stamp? See, actual power, as you say, if you are not aware of parliamentary form of government in India also, but you take an imagination like president in India is the head of the government, okay. President of Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister, may make it clear, Prime Minister of India is your actually real head. Now all the decisions, all the important decisions related to any important stuff that is meant for the welfare of your country, welfare of your India. So who will take the decisions? Main decision and of top means body of taking decisions is Prime Minister of India, okay. He takes decision on behalf of representatives. He is the head of all the representatives. So what he does on behalf of all the citizens of India, he takes that important decisions, okay. But you see, the final approving authority of that particular decision is who? This is your nominal head. That is, in case of India, if you say, if we talk of India, who is there? Prime Minister is your real head who is taking decisions, but who is the signing authority? Your president. What is this rubber stamp means? Rubber stamp means signing authority, but actual brain as well as your actual concept as well as your actual decision are taken on the assent of Prime Minister in India. If he approves it, if he writes it, only the formal approval authority is your president in India. See, all the decisions, all the important government decisions are taken in India by cabinet, we say. cabinet ministry. The head of cabinet ministry is again your prime minister. Now this prime minister, so we can say he is the actual head. Now the signing authority means what are the words that are written on a list of paper. These are the decisions that are given by prime minister and his cabinet and his ministers, his representatives, his MLAs, his MPs. Okay, but now if he want to publish that particular decision in the government gazette, gazette is what? A important book of government of India in which particular right is particular note that is given by Indian government is written. It's just a gazette. So before that gazette is needs to be published in the press, gazetteer book, it should be thoroughly signed by president. So president is a rubber stamp in India. So he is what? He is a nominal head and he is the real head. So who is the mastermind behind all the decisions? Cabinet and your prime minister. And who is the signing authority? Who is the rubber stamp? Your nominal head, president in case of India. Okay. Now this particular thing, now you reverse this. If you reverse this, this is I have seen in this is I have shown in context of India. Now if you see this in context of USA, if you want to see this thing in context of USA, and similarly you write down this, your nominal head and your real head. Your nominal head and your real head. So who is the nominal head there? Prime Minister in case of this USA, and your real head is your president. So this is the case. So yes, so therefore we call it as their presidential rule, where the actual power is of president and in this actual power is of PM. So in this case actual power is with your Prime Minister of India. Here actual power is with your president. Again nominal your president, and nominal you can say this another name is rubber stamp, and here also if we say nominal your PM. So these are the mandatory things what you should aware of these things. So why this presidential form of government? Because this is the he is the head, and similarly also our PM in this case in parliamentary form of government, the head of government is PM. Okay, he is directly elected, I can say directly elected by common citizens of India. Now who is this directly elected? Your PM, Prime Minister. Prime Minister of India is actually the direct elected member. Okay, now in this case who is directly elected? Who is directly elected? Your president. So these are the things, these are the system, you should be proper aware of it. So this was just a basic before starting this. Now when we'll be going to president, when we'll be going to this Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, so you'll be having more clear picture on the basis of these things. So clear? Now we'll directly come on our next point, our next point is now your Lok Sabha. We'll be starting with what is called as Lok Sabha. So I think this much is clear for you. So first, as a part of our parliament, we are discussing in in detail, I must say, our Lok Sabha. Okay, the Lok Sabha we are discussing here. So now, what are the things, what are the aspects we need to study for our Lok Sabha? So this is the first, your Lok Sabha. Now, what is this Lok Sabha? Lok Sabha is actually a representation of people. Okay. Another name of this Lok Sabha is lower house, or we can say this is House of Commons. House of Commons. Now this House of Commons word was given to us by British government. House of Commons. Now you see this Commons. What is this meaning of Commons? This Commons. What is this Commons? This Commons means common citizens. This Lok Sabha is representation of common citizens. Lok Sabha is what? Representation of common citizens of India. Now, what is this representation means? Like we the citizens of India, okay, we the common citizens of India, what we do? We cast vote to our PMs and CMs. So this we are studying about parliament. So we are discussing the central government, election of central government. So in this scenario, representatives, we cannot ultimately, we are nearly our 100 crores plus 100 crore plus is our population of India. So out of them, at least 80 to 90 crores of citizens are eligible for casting votes. Okay, so can this 80 crore or above 100 crore people will, how these people can demand for their rights, how their demands can be completed? These demands can be completed by means of these representatives. So what you do, if you as a common citizen, if you want to complete your demands, if you want your demands to be fulfilled by the government, what is the approach? See, so between this government and its citizens, between this government and this citizen, there is a body, representatives. Representatives. Now, what are these representatives? If we talk about your central government, these are your MPs. These are your, if you talk about states, this is your MLAs, etc. These are your member of parliaments and these are members of legislative assemblies to whom you give vote, and combination of these MLAs and MPs will form this government. Is it clear? And they will fulfill the demands what are required by you. So ultimately, what is the number of MPs, member of parliaments in Lok Sabha? This is your 552. These are the total number of member of parliaments that are there in your Rajya Sabha. These are 552. So these 552 members will fulfill your demand, will fulfill the demands, means on behalf of these citizens, they will speak in Lok Sabha for fulfillment of your demands. This is entirely should be clear. Okay, so is it clear? I'll repeat again. 120 crore is, you can say, the proposed population of our country. So these much of Indians, they will elect their representatives, and these representatives will fulfill their demands. So there comes a definition of what? Democracy. Now what is this democracy? For the people, by the people. So this is how happens. Means you are voting to these representatives, and these representatives will fulfill your demands. So likewise, this is the thing. For the people, by the people. Okay, now you must be getting the point that how this democracy works. Means you are electing these representatives combiningly they will form this government, and this government will ultimately meet for common citizens of India. So this is how representation of common citizens of India, this is the thing. Now we'll start about this structure. Now why this called as House of Commons? So I have given you this reason why this is called as House of Commons. These are the representatives of this common people. Okay, so this is how we are representing. Now we must look at it. This is lower house of Indian Parliament. This is called as your lower house of Indian Parliament. Why this is called as lower house? Again lower house is your House of Commons. Common people are represented in this house, so we can say this is the lower house, as well as this house cannot be dissolved. House can be dissolved before tenure of 5 years. There is a fixed tenure of 5 years. There is a fixed tenure of, you must say, 5 years. Before this tenure, this house can be dissolved. Means if there is some fall of government, okay, so in that case, or if the government are having the support, if that is also removed by different political parties, so this is also dissolved. Now what are the conditions for dissolving a government? So for this Lok Sabha, see, there are numerous intermediate concepts in different books. You will be reading that, okay, but while you are going in a flow, so if I explain you some things, so you should have a proper note of it, because what happens, this is how conceptual clarity you will be getting. Now at this point of time, this dissolution and all, I should explain you what is your coalition government and your majority government. These types of aspects, most of the books are not covering these things. Even if they are covering, you while your revision, you are not able to understand in which part this is covered. So I'll let you know this, how this government dissolve, how this dissolution happens in government. Okay, fall of government we say. Okay, so like example, we'll look at it. So see, look after it. Now forms of government. One is your clear majority, and one is your coalition. Now what is the difference between this majority government and this coalition government? Now if we look after it, that what is your coalition government and what is your majority government, like you see this when this form of this new government, this BJP government that was started in June 14th in 2014. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi got a clear majority. Okay, Narendra Modi is a member of parliament, okay, of this Lok Sabha, Okay, so BJP in 2014 got clear majority, or we can say any of the political party, if any of the political party gets clear majority, like out of this 550, like 552, two are nominated. So we'll see out of this 550, if we are getting 380 or 382 plus, ultimately now obviously this is 50% plus. Okay, so this is, you can say, this is the clear majority of a party. In such a situation, when out of this 550, 382 are the seats, 390, 400, 350, means if any political party is getting 275 plus, what is 550 is half, 550 divided by 2 is your 275. So this 275 plus, if you are getting, it means that particular political party is leading. Now if you switch see the situation of BJP government that was there in 2014, how it formed. This got a clear cut majority. Okay, I don't exactly remember the exact figure how much this got the actual number of seats in this. So if it gets a clear cut majority, if it gets a clear cut picture, so you will form a majority government. Now what happens about this coalition government? When any of the government, when any of the parties, I must say, political parties did not get clear majority, clear cut majority, it is your coalition government. So coalition is combination of n number of governments, like see, like UPA government, if it wants to formulate its government, so it will require some support from its parties. Like you see one government, only one government, so it cannot formulate, it cannot hold in this Lok Sabha alone. So what does it takes? It takes help of other political parties, and this combiningly they form a government. This government is actually called as coalition government. So this is very much important, so you should have a look at it. Okay, so this is the dissolution and all the issues related to it. Now apart from this, if we move now further in this House of Commons, now I'll let you explain the things. Okay, see, here I have written total number of representatives in this Lok Sabha are 552. Total representatives in your Lok Sabha is 552. See, out of these two, 550 and 2, we should have a clear picture on this. What is this 550 and what is this 2? See, 550 is directly elected by citizens. So they are elected. You see the word elected is there. Hence, these are your elected members. Now these two are not, no citizens cast them vote. They didn't fight any election for getting the seat in member of parliament, for becoming a member of parliament and getting a seat in this Lok Sabha. They did not fight any elections. Okay, they are just nominated by President. President of India nominates them. So these are called as your nominal heads. sorry, nominal head nahi, no, this is called as your nominated members. Now, so here we have discussed this is your elected members and these are your nominated members. Now, what is the thing? What are these two nominated members? What are these two nominated members that are nominated by president? On which basis? There should be a basis. So this basis is Anglo-Indian community. Anglo-Indian. There is a community called as Anglo-Indian. So this community they belongs, the particular Anglo-Indian community they belongs to. So president has a power for their appointment. President has a actually he is having a legislative power for appointing of these two members. Okay. Now, so this is the total means division. Now these, what are these? Directly elected by citizens. Now, what is this directly elected? See, the type of election, I'll rub this. Now this type of election that takes place in your Lok Sabha, this type of election is called as your election based on adult franchisee. Now, what is this adult franchisee means? What is this meaning? What is this meaning of this adult franchisee? So, adult franchisee, if they ask in exam, they generally ask in exam, what are the means, being a civil service aspirant, you should know what is a common election called as, its technical name. This is adult franchisee. Adult franchisee means people who have completed 18 years of age. 18 years of age can cast their vote. So this is meaning of adult franchisee. Okay. Earlier this was the age was your 60. So your age was 21 years. By 61st Constitution Amendment Act, this was reduced to 18 years. Okay, I think it held something in 88 or 89. You just check the year. So this was the 61st Constitution Amendment Act. On the basis of this, the government has reduced age from 21 years to 18 years. Now, what is another thing? Now, what is the important thing behind it? Election based on this is called as adult franchisee. Okay, so what type of election is there? The type of election that Lok Sabha is having, direct election. Direct election. Direct election by citizens of India who have completed this 18 years of age. Okay, so this is a direct election. If we go in another part of your parliament, that is your Rajya Sabha, that is having your indirect election. That is not a direct form of election. Okay, so these are the things. Now, before discussing this, before discussing your different parts, your different bodies, now there are certain things that if we are talking about this Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, which are the part of your parliament, I'll need to discuss here only. Your Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is having, your parliament is having your Lok Sabha and parliament is having your Rajya Sabha also. So these are two bodies. These two bodies, when we combine them, this is called as bicameral. Bicameral. Okay, so you note this term. If any of the state, if any of the government is having bicameral, then that means there are two houses. So in parliament we are having two houses. One is your Lok Sabha and your Rajya Sabha. Okay, now there are numerous examples. There are numerous examples of bilateral states also. This is in central government. So if we talk about this term bicameral, I'll explain you here. Bicameral. I'll explain you here. this bicameral. So like two bodies, two legislative bodies, if there are two legislative bodies, this is called as bicameral. Now there are bicameral bodies that are available in your state governments also. Okay, one is your, if we talk about state, we have seen central government, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. If we talk about state government, so there comes your state legislative assembly. Second, your state legislative council, your state legislative assembly and your state legislative councils. So these are the two bodies that are present in the state. So also this is also called as your bicameral. Now if we talk about the examples, what are the examples that are means there? So examples are your, you can say Jammu and Kashmir, then comes your UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, then your Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and finally the new one is your Telangana state. Telangana state. So this is the new one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 7 bicameral states we are having. Means bicameral, there are two bodies that are the part of your legislature in that particular state. So getting this clear view. Now, so if we move more about this, okay, so now what does this Lok Sabha do? I must say, what does this parliament do? What is its actual working? See, in nutshell, I'll let you know, to understand the concept, this much is sufficient, that this Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, these are Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and parliament, these combiningly are meant for passing a law. These are the bodies that makes law. Okay, so the primary work of this these three bodies is your passing law. This is only the primary work I am saying. There are numerous work, there are other tasks that it accomplishes. So there are numerous working of this parliament. So now in this system we'll look after it. Now for like we have seen, the representatives who are sitting is in this Lok Sabha, they are called as member of parliament of Lok Sabha. So MP Lok Sabha, simple. So how much are MPs here? So elected MPs 550 and 2 are nominal, as I have already discussed. So they will also called as MP, but they are nominated ones. Okay, so member of Lok Sabha, your elected members of Lok Sabha are your 550. See, now to become a member of Lok Sabha, what are the eligibilities? There are certain issues. What are the eligibility issues that are there? So what is this means eligibility? So we'll look at it. Eligibility. So eligibility to become member of Lok Sabha. There are numerous eligibilities. So one by one we'll have a look. So look at this. I am writing its eligibility here. Okay, what is the first eligibility? Now your first eligibility is simple, all must be knowing. He should be a citizen of India. Should be citizen of India. He must have completed 25 years of age. the person who is fighting, who is standing, who is holding a ticket of a particular party, he should at least complete these norms. He should complete 25 years of age, he should be an Indian. Now then comes your, he should not be mentally retarded. Then comes your, one of the most important thing what I am discussing here, I have marked this point, this is important. He should not hold any post of profit. Now what is this post of profit? What is this meaning of post of profit? What does it mean? See, the post of profit here means he should not held any service under Government of India or any state government. Okay, like you must have seen recent examples, like any of the CM who wants, a person wants to become a CM, chief minister, if he wants to become, then what does what is the primary condition? If he is working under any of the government, means state government or central government, he need to resign from that place, and then he need to fight an election. Okay, like in case of there are numerous politicians who have done like this. So this is the thing. So post of profit should not hold any service under central government or state government. Like you have seen this Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal is presently CM of your Delhi. So further he was on a very honorable post. He was IRS in the Indian Revenue Services. So he left that, he resigned from that particular post. Then he fought the election. Then he became member of Legislative Assembly, and then finally he became the CM. So this is the thing. So post of profit only meant for government servants. Government servant means who are working under central government or state government. Now if we take another example, if any person wants to fight an election who is already a minister or member of Legislative Assembly or member of Parliament, okay, so no need for resignation. So if he holds any political post, like he is a member of Legislative Assembly or he is a member of Parliament, MP or MLA, if he is already there, if he is a politician, he need not have to resign from his post. He can fight the election. Now if he becomes your MP, then that his previous post is already nullifies. Okay, so you should have a difference. Means this post of profit only mean for this. This is not related to your your political services. Okay, this is your government services. Okay, so this is it. Now the last eligibility here is he should not be a bankrupt. Now this bankrupt means the person who has taken the loan from any of the banks, any of the nationalized or private banks, and he is not able to pay that loan. Okay, so this is, you can say, if he is a defaulter, if he commits any defaults with government banks or private banks, so if he is not able to repay that loan, okay, so he is called as defaulter, and this is finally converts to your bankruptcy. So this is not allowed. Okay, now so what is the thing that are there? There is one more point I remember here. This 552 post, these are your 552 post. So government, according to government, this will be fixed till 2026, till 2026 year, till year 2026. till year 2026, this post will remain as 2000. This post will remain as 552. After that, it may revise. Okay, because how it may revise? Because see, the proportion of your population of India, either it decreases or it increases. So accordingly, this will means increase or decrease. Okay, so it will stable. It will be remain as it is 552 till 2026. Okay, now what are these things? Now there are further dichotomy I need to discuss regarding it. See, this 552 members I have written. So out of these, how it is divided? 2 are your nominated members, we have already discussed. Now these 20 and this 530. So these are your elected members. Elected members from states. 530 your elected members from your different states. Similarly, these are 20 members from your not states, elected from union territories. So 20 members are elected from your union territories. Now there are 28 states including Telangana now there, and these are the 7 your union territories. So this is how means this division is there. Now another point, yes, so we have seen the means this eligibility and all. Now there is one more thing. These are the MLAs, these are the member of parliaments of Lok Sabha 552. These combiningly, these all people, if we say combiningly, they are responsible to whom? They are responsible to your Lok Sabha. These are combiningly responsible to your Lok Sabha. These 552 members are combiningly responsible to your Lok Sabha. Now why these are combiningly responsible to Lok Sabha? Now you see in the start of the video I have told you these members are directly elected by the people. So these are the representation of the country. So normally this happens, means these are the representation of the countries. These are the representative of 1 crore 20 lakh people. Okay, 120 crore, sorry 120 crore people. These are the representations. These 552 people are representation. So they are collectively responsible for your Lok Sabha. Now this 552 is okay. Now what is further? Now the things what we need to discuss further, that in most of the scenario we have seen in India, in most of the scenario we have seen our head of government, our prime minister, mainly means most of the times after independence he belongs to house of Lok Sabha. There are certain exceptions like Dr. Manmohan Singh, Honorable Prime Minister of India. Then we have seen H.D. Devgowda, Indra Kumar Gujral. These are the members who were also, these were the prime ministers that were also from your Rajya Sabha. So if a question comes in the exam that prime minister is a person of which house of parliament, so you must tick this Lok Sabha. 80% of the time prime minister is from your Lok Sabha, but certain in exceptional situation, like I have taken these names of this PM, in this situation you need to look after your Rajya Sabha. These are the members. Like what happened means this Dr. Manmohan Singh is a member of Lok Sabha. Manmohan Singh is actually a member of Lok Sabha. So what he did in this scenario, if we look at it, that he was the member of your only Lok Sabha. member of your Lok Sabha, Manmohan Singh, like he was from Rajya Sabha. This is an example that he belongs to your member of Rajya Sabha. He belongs to Assam State Legislative Assembly. So these are the some exceptions. So most of the PMs, they are from your Rajya Sabha. This should be very much clear. Now another point I need to discuss here in this section only. Can any person, I must say, can any person become any minister? See, Prime Minister is also a minister, but he is having a superior position than other ministers. So can this particular minister, okay, can any citizen of India, he can become a minister? Means being a common person. Suppose I am a common person, I am a common citizen of India. Can I become minister? Means can I become a PM, CM or any of the minister of any of the ministries? Yes, I can become. Only I need to make one thing very clear. Only one thing that is required is your this eligibility. Okay. If even I don't fight any election, I can become a minister. Okay, only the condition is within 6 months of time period you need to become any member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Okay, like what happens if there are certain elections that need to be conducted within 4 months, within a time period of 6 months, within a time period of 6 months, if there needs to be a Lok Sabha election, and by that time if I become any of the minister, okay, then in 6 months of time period I will sign with any of the constituency of India. Okay, then I will fight the election and then I will win that particular election. So for temporary period I was the member of parliament. Now I get a legal ticket because I have fought got the seat in this your Lok Sabha. Okay, now what happens in Rajya Sabha? If I become a member of Rajya Sabha, anyhow, if I am a nominated member by president, if I get nominated, or from the representative of states I get nominated, any of the way I should get a seat in either of the houses, that is your Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Anyways, if I get a legal seat in both of these houses, I can continue my ministership. Okay, like if somebody makes me a CM or PM of this country, okay, I can sustain on this position. Only the prerequisite is within 6 months of time period I should have a legal membership of any of the house, that is your Lok Sabha or your Rajya Sabha. So this point should I think it's clear with all of you. Now see, there are different executives that are there in our Lok Sabha. So we are discussing about different leaders or your executives. So one of your executive in your Lok Sabha is Speaker of Lok Sabha. Speaker of Lok Sabha. Now who is he? Now who is Speaker of Lok Sabha? Speaker, or you can say simply a chairman of Lok Sabha. See, means most of you have means seen in the picture of your TV and all. There comes your Lok Sabha channel and your Rajya Sabha channel. In this Lok Sabha there is green carpet and one person is sitting means on the chair right in the between, and all the other members, your 552 members or 545 members, they are sitting in front of him. So what is this speaker? See, speaker is also an MP. Like if you take example of Sumitra, Madam Sumitra Mahajan, Honorable Speaker of Lok Sabha, she is also a member of parliament. Okay, so how she got this seat of speaker? See, one thing I want to make it very clear. Speaker of Lok Sabha is member of parliament, so he doesn't takes his oath of secrecy before becoming any minister. Prime minister means if you are becoming a prime minister, you take oath of secrecy in front of President of India. Okay. Now similarly, different MPs take oath of secrecy from President of India. Okay. So this President of India, when Lok Sabha speaker is taking the oath of secrecy, he doesn't takes oath on the name of this speaker. He only takes oath of secrecy on as a common member of parliament, not as this. So Lok Sabha speaker doesn't takes any separate oath of secrecy, only takes oath. So I'll write here, Lok Sabha speaker do not take oath of secrecy separately. But as member of parliament. This is it. Now how he forms member of parliament. I want to make one thing very clear. How he forms, how this member of parliament, so how this speaker is formed. Now after conduction of your common election, like your common election, there in the very first meeting, when this Lok Sabha is now settled, all 552 members for this, the 552 is the maximum. Sometime it happened that there are 545 members. Okay. Now when these members get settled, so they require their pro tem officer. Okay, they require a person who will make representation, or who is requires a warden sort of thing. Okay, who will control this house. Lok Sabha needs to be controlled by a person, so speaker controls that. Okay, so what happens when during its first meeting they make a internal voting and they give a recommendation of a single name. Okay, there is no pan India voting or no such like voting. So internal, there is a voting that is done within the limit of your Lok Sabha. This 552 members of whatever members, they will make a voting for a particular name, and that for a particular name, for a particular, the person who has got a single name, he will be elected as speaker of Lok Sabha. Now what are its powers? What is he mean for? See, simple in broad, I'll let you know. The main working of your Lok Sabha speaker is to look after matters, to look after your eligibility or your disciplinary matters. I must say the disciplinary matters that are needed inside the house are seen by your Lok Sabha speaker. Okay, so all the matters related to discipline. Okay, he enjoys certain powers. If some member of parliament is putting any bill, okay, bill, that is proposal, the law, if you want to make a law in your parliament, in your Lok Sabha, if you want to pass any law, so you need to read its proposal. So proposal, that particular page, that proposal, what is the demand you are keeping, that demand is, you can say, a proposal or a bill. Okay, so if you want to keep that particular bill in Lok Sabha, so you require his your formal approval. Before keeping that bill, you need to keep this that particular bill in front of speaker. Then if he allows, then you can, particular member of parliament reads that particular bill. Okay, so this is clear, I think. So like administrative work, okay, regarding discipline, etc. matters, these are seen by your Lok Sabha speaker. Now when this Lok Sabha speaker is absent, so who looks after it? Officer subordinating him. So there is another post after this Lok Sabha speaker, Apart from this Lok Sabha speaker, there is another post called as deputy speaker of Lok Sabha. Your deputy speaker of Lok Sabha. Now what is this deputy speaker? Deputy, the person is subordinate to your speaker. Now if he is below the person, if something happens like he is absent from the house, Lok Sabha speaker, if he is absent from the house, then who will look after his matters? Who will look after all the things? Your deputy speaker. Okay, so deputy speaker will have a review of all the things that is there. Getting my point? So deputy speaker will look after in the absence of speaker. Now suppose both deputy speaker and your Lok Sabha speaker both are not there in house. Who will look after it? So a third body below them can be called as pro tem speaker. Okay. So this pro tem speaker will be there, and this pro tem speaker will look after the working of these both. Okay, these are also the appointed bodies, so he will look after the matter in his absence. So most of the people ask this pro tem speaker. So this pro tem speaker is nothing but you can say a acting officer of your Lok Sabha, who looks after the work of this Lok Sabha speaker and your deputy speaker of Lok Sabha. Now there comes what happens when this Lok Sabha speaker wants to resign. If he wants to make a resignation, to whom will this Lok Sabha speaker will give his resignation? Okay, to whom? See, Lok Sabha speaker will give its resignation to deputy speaker. Lok Sabha speaker will give its resignation to your deputy speaker, and deputy speaker of Lok Sabha will give its resignation to speaker of Lok Sabha. Okay, so resignation. So resignation from speaker to deputy speaker. Now deputy speaker to speaker, resignation also this way. So getting my point. So these are the things that are there. Now if we discuss about the powers of the president, see, I want to make 2-3 things very clear. This Lok Sabha speaker, now finish this talking about deputy speaker, so we'll strike off. See, this speaker of Lok Sabha, is, I told you, he is the pro tem body. He is the he is the one who controls the house, your Lok Sabha. So there is one question. Why is it okay? Now the question here arises: do this speaker of Lok Sabha participate in voting? See, as I have already discussed, the main the main feature or we can say the main working of our parliament is to make laws. So Lok Sabha is one among their part. So this is, if there is voting on particular bill, so can he cast vote on that particular bill or not? So answer to this, whether he can cast a vote or not. So first thing is, he cannot cast the vote. He cannot cast the vote in particular if that particular bill is there. So he cannot cast the vote. Only in the situation when voting is going on and there is a tie on anything, 50-50. Means if a bill, 50% of the members want to pass that bill and 50% of the members does not want to pass the bill. Like there is tie, 50% wants to pass the bill, 50% does not want to pass the bill. Now in this situation, what happens? What will be the bill going to do? What is the future of that bill? Now in this situation, if Lok Sabha speaker, then in this situation, I must say, then in this particular situation, in this decisionary situation, this is a decisionary situation. decisionary situation, this Lok Sabha member will cast his vote. This vote is called as a decisionary vote. Now if he passes his votes towards this, so this will get 51%, that bill will not pass. Now inverse of this, if this is 51%, now this bill will be passed. So this way. So what is the thing in nutshell? Lok Sabha speaker does not cast the vote, but in case of tie on any particular bill, so he will cast his decisionary vote. Okay, so this is very important. Now another thing I will also discuss here. See what is another thing. Now this is your Lok Sabha. This is in this we have seen another point. We have seen the voting. Either he should vote or he should not vote. So he can vote only in the situation what I have discussed here. Now there are meetings, there are joint meetings of Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha. There are joint meetings of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now what are these joint meetings? See, there are certain situations. In that particular situations, both of the houses of parliament, means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, need to discuss that particular point combiningly. This is we can say a joint meeting. So concern here is who calls this meeting, who calls this joint meeting, who calls this joint meeting. Okay, this joint meeting is called by president. But presided means heading, campaigning. Who is the head of these two meetings? This is your Lok Sabha speaker. So question if arises, the power of calling joint meeting is president, and who heads this meeting, who presides over the joint meeting? So your answer should be speaker of your Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha speaker will be your answer. Okay, so this is a major point of concern. So this you should make a proper note of it. Okay, so yes, there are certain exceptional points that are there with the Lok Sabha, like there is a bill called as a money bill. In case of money bill, in case of your money bill, now what is this money bill? Anything that is related to your something to your finance. So your Lok Sabha is having discretionary power. Okay, this bill will be passed here, and this will be kept first. Means there are two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Any bill can be kept anywhere. Means the bill can be read anywhere. Okay, and voting can be done anywhere. But in case of this finance bill, this will be kept first here, and this is the discretionary power. When we'll discuss your Rajya Sabha, at that time we'll see that in which particular situation Rajya Sabha is having its discretionary power. I'll let you know in this brief. You have seen this. I am talking about Rajya Sabha, hai na? Don't make it for this Lok Sabha. In the Rajya Sabha, there is discretionary power of creation of new central services. Just for an example, in this current affairs and news, there is too much importance is given to education system. The basic education system of India needs to be boosted up. For this purpose, government is getting different recommendations of the committees. One committee has recommended, one person has recommended this, that UPSC should also conduct an exam like what there are IAS, IPS. Similarly, there should be a central service called as your Indian University Services, IUS. So there should be a separate services. In that there will be a separate executive who will look after the system of the education. Okay, so now if this IUS, Indian University Services, wants to be created, so it's a new structure that is needed to be implemented in the UPSC. So this system will be implemented by the resolution of your Rajya Sabha. So getting my point. So to start a new central service, so where that proposal will be first will be read. So this will be there in your Rajya Sabha. Okay, so these are the exceptionals. Okay, now there are system of like we have discussed one power, the power of Rajya Sabha, power of Lok Sabha speaker we have discussed. So the power of, in that power of Lok Sabha speaker, there is one more power. You just write down behind that particular thing. In that particular power, what is there? There is a means, before declaring, before passing, before giving a proposal, before reading a proposal, I have already told you, I have shared with you, you need to take prior approval of your Lok Sabha speaker. So now this Lok Sabha speaker reads that particular document or whatever the proposal or the bill, and he decides that is it a financial bill or not. So if it's a financial bill, so this financial bill needs to be first taken in your Lok Sabha. So he decides, he makes a definition sort of thing that this bill is your financial bill. Okay, so this is these are the things. Okay, so that is all about this. Okay, and now one of the most important thing I want to tell about this Lok Sabha, this can be dissolved. Okay, as I have earlier written, dissolved. What is this dissolved, and hence it is called as lower house? So if something happens, like some of the government, like some of the BJP coalition government, I remember there was something before 2000. So there was a PM who became PM only for 15 or 13 days of time period only. So what happened? This Lok Sabha was dissolved. Now how this Lok Sabha is dissolved? This Lok Sabha is dissolved by President on the recommendation of Prime Minister. Prime Minister makes a recommendation to dissolve this Lok Sabha. So this Lok Sabha can be dissolved before 5 years of time period. Getting the point? Now if there wants to be a Lok Sabha election something in 2019, before that particular time period, PM will advise, will recommend to this President to dissolve this Lok Sabha now, because they don't want to conduct any further. They don't want to conduct any further things about this Lok Sabha. So these are the points that are sufficiently we have discussed. Okay, if certain thing happens now, like in the start of this lecture, these are the things what I have given about the eligibility. Now there is some problem related to this eligibility. Now there are certain issues that takes place with this eligibility. Now what happens, है ना? So what happens if this eligibility criteria is problem or something there? So who looks after this? Who looks after this? So Election Commission of India. So Election Commission of India will look after all these matters, all these subject matters that are means the problems that are there with your eligibilities and any of the stuffs related to your Lok Sabha elections. This will be taken care of your Election Commission of India. Now second, the thing is, if any of the member of Lok Sabha, if he is absent more than continuous 60 days, suppose a person A, he is member of your Lok Sabha and he is absent for continuous 60 days, then his candidature will be cancelled. Okay, so make a point of this. A member should not absent more than 60 days in your Lok Sabha. A member cannot be absent more than 60 days in Lok Sabha. So you should make a proper attention of this. Now Apart from this, your I want to make one thing very clear. These member of parliaments, these are working on actually constitutional position. They are working on a very respectable position. You know, these are the representatives of the people, so they are on the top level. So any of the common, like a common man commits a crime, so he can be direct against him. Any person can register a crime. But if you are a member of parliament, okay, so nobody can directly register a crime against you. Okay, so these are the things, these are the silly things you need to discuss about it. So I think that's all for today's lecture. So we'll just now stop. Okay.